From the far reaches of the Milky Way galaxy, it's Retro Nerd Girl with a spoiler-free film review for you. Today, I'll be reviewing the movie Dirty Grandpa, released in 2016, starring Robert De Niro, Zac Efron, and Zoe Deutsch, directed by Dan Mazer. The synopsis is, after losing his wife of 40 years of marriage, former Army Lieutenant Colonel Dick Kelly convinces his grandson Jason to take him to spring break to hook up with college girls. Now that sounds like an interesting premise right there. The reviews for this film are scathing, and on some level I do understand the criticism, but I have to say, and don't hate me for this, but I liked it. There's a lot of problems with it. Yes, there are a lot of problems with this film, but I didn't hate it. I did not think it was the worst thing ever. Some of the jokes certainly did cross the line, and just when it seems you're unpeeling back some kind of emotional undertone, we get an even more intense level of harsh insults and intentional awkward punchlines that divert from the heart of the story. And the heart of the story is really a grandfather who is trying to stop his grandson from making a big mistake in marrying a woman he doesn't love, as well as settling into a job because there's a lot of pressure for him to do so by his family. The grandfather devises this ridiculous road trip during spring break in hopes that it will open his grandson's eyes to pursuing a more fulfilling life, because he's noticed over the years that he's lost his passion for art and photography and pretty much does everything to please everyone else. There's a lot of potential in the story to really say something important about romantic relationships, the loss of a significant other, the bond of marriage, and relationships between sons and fathers, and grandchildren and grandparents. The film touches on all of these things but doesn't dwell too long on it for you to attach yourself to these concepts. At the last third, it does that thing everyone dislikes in a lot of these romantic comedies, where you have a character that discovers that another character is lying to them, and then everything goes bust and everybody hates each other and it stops the film and everybody looks sad. It's so irritating. It's been done a million times, and not to mention the wedding. That whole wedding premise and everything that happens with the wedding. I don't want to spoil anything for you, but it's so predictable and you've seen it a million times. And here they're introducing this new concept of this grandfather that's trying to score some babes, and then you get this sort of cookie cutter story in the middle of it, which I feel really should have went to the wayside. Just make it about this young man and his grandfather and them connecting to each other, and the grandfather actually guiding his grandson in the right direction, indirectly. There was some objection by many critics to Robert De Niro playing the part of the Dirty Grandpa because of his upstanding reputation as a great American actor. But I thought this was a great vehicle for him if it had worked. He was great in the film. I totally got the irony of seeing Robert De Niro play a role like this. And as an actor, you have to be courageous enough to take some risks to keep things interesting. And I think he did that. He was trying to do that in this film. But I wish the film had done him some justice by reeling in some of the vulgar comedy. Keep some of it in, remove some of it. Because after about the 50th gross joke, you're just sort of like, okay, we get it. And I wish they had moved that aside and inserted more of the emotion and focus on the real issues in the script that was they were just touching on with his character and what he's trying to do. I really enjoyed Robert's banter with Aubrey Plaza, who plays the overzealous college student Lenore. I absolutely love her character, and I thought she really should have been, had a bigger role. I thought that their characters' relationship was very interesting and worth exploring a little more. It would have been nice to have a moment that the two of them are sharing a deeper connection to one another, to explain the reason that this pairing would even work together as a couple for the long term, like in practical terms. Two people who are opposites, who somehow, this is why it makes sense that they're together. That's just I'm getting on a rant here, but anyway, that at the end of the day, it's not bad. I did get a chuckle or two from it, and it did at some points did put a smile on my face. I did laugh at a few points. I just think it's a shame that they didn't massage the script into a better one. My rating is a 6.1. Well, that sums up my quick spoiler-free review. This is Retro Nerd Girl signing off. Take care, movie lovers, and off to my next review.